10 years from now, many dental organizations may operate very differently than they do today, because digital dentistry is no longer evolving only around clinical procedures. It's evolving around coordination, software ecosystems, cloud integration, digital workflows, and operational infrastructure operating behind the clinical environment itself. And after spending decades inside clinical dentistry, one thing became increasingly clear to me. Digital systems create operational complexity most clinics are still underestimating. Because once workflows begin expanding across scanners, CBCT systems, laboratories, planning software, AI tools, and cloud coordination, the industry itself begins changing structurally. Historically, most dental practices function relatively independently. Patient records remained local, imaging stayed inside the clinic, and operational workflows were often fragmented. But digital dentistry is gradually changing that model, because modern treatment workflows increasingly involve CBCT imaging, intraoral scanning, STL files, treatment simulation, surgical planning, cloud communication, digital laboratories, and coordinated multi-provider systems. Which means dentistry is no longer functioning only through isolated procedures. It is increasingly functioning through connected operational ecosystems. And once ecosystems begin coordinating information continuously, entirely new infrastructure layers begin emerging around the industry. This is where the business implications become extremely important, because historically, many industries eventually discovered that coordination itself creates enormous value. We saw this happen in logistics, finance, cloud computing, transportation platforms, and medical imaging networks. Once workflows become digital, the organizations coordinating information flow, interoperability, planning systems, cloud infrastructure, and operational integration often begin gaining substantial strategic advantages. Because coordination improves scalability, standardization, operational visibility, workflow efficiency, and ecosystem expansion capacity. And over time, those advantages may compound significantly. Many clinics still manage enormous amounts of sensitive patient data through fragmented internal systems. Files stored locally, scans transferred manually, unstructured backups, multiple staff members accessing imaging workflows without standardized coordination. And as digital complexity increases, operational vulnerability may increase as well. Because once CBCT files, cloud platforms, treatment planning, and patient coordination become deeply interconnected, data management itself becomes part of the infrastructure challenge. And clinics not properly prepared for workflow standardization, secure coordination, staff training, backup systems, and long-term data management may eventually face increasing operational risks over time. Which is one reason centralized systems may become increasingly attractive in the future, not only for efficiency, but for stability, continuity, coordination, and operational reliability at scale. So one reason centralized ecosystems may become increasingly influential is because digital infrastructure naturally tends to consolidate coordination. Imagine a regional imaging ecosystem coordinating 40 clinics, thousands of scans per month, centralized planning workflows, cloud-based coordination, and standardized operational systems across an entire referral network. At that scale, the strategic value may no longer come only from the imaging devices themselves. It may increasingly come from workflow coordination, operational integration, referral concentration, infrastructure scalability, and the ecosystem managing the flow of digital dentistry itself. At that point, the organization is no longer functioning simply as a clinic, an imaging center, or a laboratory. It begins functioning as a platform infrastructure system coordinating large portions, of the digital workflow itself. This is one reason investors may increasingly pay attention to dental infrastructure over the next decade, because scalable operational ecosystems often attract capital more efficiently than fragmented environments. A highly coordinated digital network may eventually provide recurring workflow demand, centralized operational management, standardized systems, integrated referral ecosystems, and scalable expansion opportunities. Ultimately, the future leaders of digital dentistry may not simply be the organizations performing procedures, they may be the organizations coordinating the infrastructure behind them. Digital dentistry may no longer revolve around equipment ownership or isolated clinical procedures. Increasingly, it may revolve around operational coordination, scalable ecosystems, integrated digital workflows, and infrastructure systems operating behind the clinical layer itself. And the organizations capable of coordinating these systems efficiently may help shape the future of architecture of modern dentistry. I'm Dr. Robert Appel, and this is Digital Imaging Systems. In the next video, I'll explain why dental laboratories are quietly transforming into technology companies, and why the future of labs may increasingly revolve around software, automation, digital manufacturing, and coordinated workflow infrastructure.